Hello and welcome to Stephanie B Creativity, and today we're working on this really sweet little elf. Yeah, I'm excited to share how to make this little elf. He's super quick, super easy, and if you've made anything from my basic doll body pattern, you already know exactly how to put it together. I'll give you all of the steps. There's hardly any. You'll have your little elf to put on your little shelf in no time at all. Let's get started. We're going to do about 5 rounds of waste yarn. One round of a zip strip, you know, that piece that you use to slide this waste yarn off. And then go in and start doing the main color. This main color is from the toes all the way out to the end of the arms. And this is going to be 90 rounds. I should have left that long so that I could easily crochet off those ends, but I'm not worried about it. And 5 rounds of waste yarn. All right, 1 down and 1 to go. Right, and then the head is just a standard tube that is 40 long. And I'm using kind of an off-white cream color. You can use any color you want for the head. And at 20, I'm going to put a drawstring. And here we're going to lay a drawstring the same color as the working yarn. Drop the drawstring. And now continue on to 40. And now we're just going to do a long tail cast off, just like a hat. Before you draw the ends in and bring them down tight, you want to make sure that your ends of your drawstring are on the outside. All of these instructions are in the original How to Do a Doll with the Basic Doll Body. And I show how to make a cat in that one. But this time we're making a little elf on the shelf. So here we're going to bind off this edge. All right, all of the edges are bound off the exact same way. I'm going to go in and pick up a loop right here. You see, this is the one that the string is actually the yarn is actually coming through. So I'm going to pick that one up, pull the yarn through. So now that end is locked in place. And I'm going to just go under, pick up the yarn, and then pull through. So you go under, pick up the yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through. This is a single crochet bind off. I like it because it's very, very tidy. You don't actually need the stretch on this end. This is, you know, either the leg or the arm, but it's It's nice, it's pretty, it's consistent, and you don't end up with anything being pulled really, really tight. It moves along really fast too. When you're doing this on a 22 needle, you've only got 22 stitches that you're going to do. If you are somebody who likes to count, go ahead and count your stitches all the way around. I'm just hoping that I put enough yarn or left enough yarn to do all of my stitches all the way around. This is just a size F 3.75 hook. You can do this with a 4, a 4.5, 3.5, whatever. Yep, I did not leave enough yarn. So I'm going to just add some yarn. I'm just crossing it over, wrapping a tail down, crossing it over, and wrapping a tail down. I'm going to trim the ends. This is not a toy. This is a decorative item. So, you know, you choose how you add your yarn, all that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to finish this and then get all of my ends being bound off. And I'll meet you back here. So my end is bound off. This end I did not put a zip strip on. You can put a zip strip on both ends if you want. I just find it very satisfying to pull this off. It just is like, woo! So much fun. And that's all done. Now the end with the zip strip. Just make sure that it's not tied. You want your ends to be free. So there we go. So now I'm just going to pull on one end of the zip strip and pull it out. Now you still have this sitting here. This just almost completely comes, there it goes, comes right off. So both ends are bound off. Now this is 1/2 of the body. So when we do this, then you're going to have both of the legs will be stitched separate. Then you're going to be mattress stitching this body together and finishing up that arm. Oh, you know what that looks like? That looks like a kid on a sled. You've seen me mattress stitch lots and lots of times, and if you haven't, I will show you mattress stitching down here on the leg. You're going to use a needle and your yarn. I've got enough yarn here to mattress stitch up this whole leg, so I'm going to just use that. The main thing that you have to do is remember to keep your, basically keep your stitches pointing in the same direction. And I know that sounds really basic and really easy. It's amazing how tricky that can be. Now I'm just going to come in through the binding edge, so that way both sides are connected here. I'm going to come over and, whoops, see, I've already done it. I started going into that one. This is what I mean by keeping them going the same direction. Right now the V is pointing to the right on the back one. The V is pointing to the V is pointing to the right on the back one, and the V is pointing to the left on the front one. And you don't want that. You want to make sure that the V right here, both of them are pointing the same direction. So V to the left. And you can pick up one or you can pick up two. It's up to you. I'm going back. And what I mean by pick up, in that V right there, if you come in to that V, ooh, look at that. The sun just came out. If you go into that V, you're going to be picking up the top of the next stitch, basically. It's a loop. It's a bar. There you go. It's a bar. Which means that I'm picking up here and I'm picking up there, and that's one. Picking up the front. Make sure you don't split your stitches. Pick up the front. Pick up the back. That's one. Pick up the bar in the front. Pick up the bar in the back. That's two. And when you pull the thread, it makes all of those stitches looks like seamless knitting all the way around. But I've done it enough times now. Into the front, into the back. By keeping one in the front, one on the back. Wow. That sun really is bright, isn't it? One on the front, one on the back. It's early in the morning, and I'm not usually in here when the sun has hit this side of the house. Wow. I'm just going to keep going back and forth. Make sure you give it a stretch after you pull your stitches tight, because you don't want to end up doing this, right? You don't want that to happen. So you can pull it out before you tighten it down, before you tie it. Make sure that this is coming out the top one, the front one. So now that the legs are stitched, we're going to sew up the back or up the belly. Don't know which one it is. Don't worry. It's okay not to know which one it is. I'm going to link onto this one and link back in to that one. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to go 25 stitches up. So when you get to the end of the body on the front or the back, tie it off and run the extra yarn down the inside. This part right here is going to be hidden under his head, so it doesn't really matter. Before I finish this off and start stitching up his arm, I need to put a little bit of stuffing in for his body. This is just that polyfill Ultra Plush that I've had for quite a while now. And I just grabbed a handful. I don't know if I'm going to use that much. All the Elf on a Shelves that I've seen, or, you know, those Christmas elf spies, they've not been really chubby. They've actually been kind of skinny. So, let's see. Give him a little tummy, but not too much. And then just a small amount up in the chest. Remember, this is not a toy. This is a decorative item that you can use for making holidays a little bit more fun. We're not stuffing the legs. The legs are free floating here. And we do have this opening here on the ends so we can put feet in, or we could just sew these off. And it's like he's in a bunny suit or something. And this was one I came up with. I didn't look at anybody else's pattern on how to do this. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this closed up. So first off, I'm going to go back and front. I'm just going to do a little whip stitch here. It's where the head's going anyway. And then I'm going to finish mattress stitching the arm. I need to get his arms folded down. So to do that, I come up here under his arm. So you've got here's his tummy or his tush. His little body. I'm going to fold the arms down. So what I need to do is kind of flatten these so that the seam is actually on the top on these arms. So it comes down like this. And I am going to grab a piece of yarn, same color that he's made out of. I'm going to come up under his arm. A couple stitches. Just lock that yarn. I'm going to fold it down. And I'm going to come down on the body and up on the arm, probably about 4 stitches. Just so I can go like that. And then stitch it down. Do it again. First off, I want to get 2 squares. That's about right. Go all the way around like that. Just get a nice little wad of the stuffing. Come on. Just work it down in there. Get it nice and tight. There we go. Look at that. Nice little hand. Yep, that's going to work just fine. So now, I'm not even cutting off the thread yet. I'm going to go around the sleeve. Coming back to the same thing I've said before, this is not a toy. So you can, stitch it however you feel comfortable. You could use glue. Use a fabric glue that's made for felt. So I think I'm going to make a collar for him. And it's just going to be a circle. Oh, maybe I'll have that little bit that comes down in the front. Like that. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. But what I'm going to do, like that. So now his collar is made, but I want to get his head stitched on. So I just threaded the head onto a yarn needle again. Just pull it through at that seam area. And I'm actually going to keep it back away for just a second, just to get a couple extra pieces of, lengths of yarn going through here. And then I'll cinch it down. Basically, I'm building his neck. I do want the head to be on here nice and snug. Okay, I think that feels pretty good. I'm going to just tidy up that edge a little. I'm going to take this out the top. You can adjust his neck a little bit, see if it's stretched out some. You can pull down and adjust just a little bit if you want to round off his head just a smidge. I'm just going to tie this off on the top. Like that. Run this yarn down through and out. Trim it off. Put his collar on around his neck. And then all I have to do is get his hat, hey? And I can put a couple little stitches tacked right here, I think. Yep, I've got enough thread right there. Oh, this would be fun to do a little embroidery on too. What did I do here? I didn't tie a knot. So I might do a little bit of embroidery on this felt. With some, some little holly berries or just some stitching. This felt is really nice to sew on. So I can continue doing all kinds of things for this guy. I think I am going to get his hat made, so I will come back here and show you what he looks like with his hat. I'm not putting any boots or shoes on him. That's just the way I want him. I like his little mittens. So let's get his hat. So I'm going to make a braided tassel on the end of this. So I'm just threading a few pieces of yarn. Like that. Let's just make it a little knotted cord. How about that? Little knotted tassel. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Making a knotted tassel on the top here. So we've got the knots coming off. And now I'm going to just take one of those cords, or one of the pieces of yarn, and wrap it around. And tie it off. And trim. This is going to be so cute. And trim. And truthfully, I'm not sure what I want to do for his eyes, but oh my gosh, wouldn't this just be the sweetest little elf to set up on the top of your Christmas tree, or up on the bookshelf, or sitting on the mantle? Maybe I'll give him a little bit of blush on his cheeks. So let's see if I can get pink cheeks on here. Give him a little bit of pink cheeks. Maybe a bit of a pink on the top here, so it feels almost like he's got a bit of a nose. This is just a Derwent pastel pencil. This is the magenta color. Give him a little bit of pink for his face. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I am grateful that you are here, that you are supporting my channel by clicking that like button, subscribing, watching the videos, sharing the videos with your friends, and leaving me comments and letting me know what you want to see. What kind of a creature or critter or person would you like to see me make next? Oh my gosh, this little guy is so cute. Go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye.